name is Maurice, obviously, Maurice Nyambe. I'm 42 years old. I'm somebody who has been involved in civil society work for around about 16 years now. And I happen to have, well, I don't know if it's a misfortune or it's a fortune of only ever having worked in civil society. I have primarily worked in civil society organizations that focus on issues to do with governance at different levels of society. From my first year in university, really, I developed this interest in terms of being able to work on issues of social justice, issues of governance, and things of that nature. Part of the requirements of our degree were that you are supposed to spend about 3 months attached to an organization. Ultimately, I did get attached to a civil society organization that was working on issues to do with HIV/AIDS, among other things. And so from that point on, that was my entry into civil society, and I've never looked back since then. I work for the Zambian chapter of Transparency International. Transparency International, of course, being the leading global anti-corruption movement. I happen to lead the Zambia chapter, so I'm the executive director there. It has constantly given me lots of opportunities to be able to engage both with state actors as well as private sector actors. So I'm sort of in the middle, and so it has given me a bit of perspective in terms of how the issues are seen. Of course, in terms of my own country, Zambia, there is a lot that is going on in terms of when we're talking about governance issues, when we're talking about issues to do with corruption and things of that nature. I think we can do better as a country in many respects. Right now, if you ask me, what is the state of democracy right now in Zambia, I would say we are struggling. The way that we do our democracy is really not the way that democracy in the real sense of the way it's supposed to be. The space within which even civil society organizations are able to engage and to interact on some of these key issues has been constantly reducing. I mean, I'm quite hopeful that with the sort of work that we have continued to do as civil society, if we get a leadership really that is responsive to the needs and the demands and the requirements of the citizens, then we will be in a better place in terms of being able to make progress in terms of our own democratic aspirations. Transparency International Zambia is one that has a lot of legitimacy and a lot of credibility. When TI Zambia issues a statement, for example, everybody's going to listen to it because it is TI Zambia. So that alone, I think, gives me a certain space and a certain platform and status that I am able to utilize. I need to really be very wary and very careful with what I say. So it constantly gives me this ability to be able to reflect in detail on whatever issue that I'm talking about, because I know that every word that I say, it can actually have implications even for public perception about a particular issue. We have been able to establish some very collaborative and very good relations with government entities, actually. And so we have signed a number of memorandum of understanding with government bodies such as the Anti-Corruption Commission, such as the Judiciary, and the Zambia Police Service, for example. And these memoranda of understanding are really about trying to enhance aspects of accountability and transparency within the operations of these entities. Because we realize that the work that we do when it comes to fighting corruption, for example, we are not going to succeed just on our own. Because of this huge responsibility that I have, I've got a lot of people that are looking out to me. I mean, me personally as an individual, but also to my organization in terms of being able to provide some sort of guidance, some sort of direction when it comes to the governance aspects of my country. So, I can actually see myself being in the Zambian parliament as a member of parliament. So I think, I think that's something that gives me a personal drive as well, because I've got a target that I'm aiming for. I'm not yet ready for that now, For me, this period is really about just building myself a lot more in terms of even my competencies, my skills, my leadership. And that is why this particular fellowship actually has come at absolutely the right time.